Bitcoin just broke one of the biggest high time frame resistance areas on the chart and is currently trading back inside this long time frame range. So, kind of the questions we are all asking ourselves, are we going to see new all-time highs? Am I too late to buy the trend? Are we going to get another sell in May and go away kind of scenario? I'm going to go over all that and more in this video for you guys. So stick around. And first, I'm going to go over kind of the chart and what's going on. So first things first, you guys can see that we are trading back inside this long time frame range that we established back in November 2024. This is important for, first reason, once we kind of accept in the bottom of the range, first thing you want to see is about the midpoint be tagged. We did tag the midpoint, kind of this high volume node, and we found some resistance, kind of chopped around there, and then really found some velocity today. And we kind of traded up towards the top of the range. Now, are we just going to blow past and make a new all-time high? Yeah, we could. This 105, 106 zone is pretty sticky, though. I don't expect us, to just blast through it like that. If we do and we tag these all-time highs, I do kind of expect it to be a swing failure and we kind of fall back inside the range. What I would really want to see if we're going to see more upside is just to build a range over the summer. So we build a range over the summer into Labor Day, and then after Labor Day, we really start to mark up again into the end of the year, into 2026. So we have a Q4, and then we kind of are bullish into the end of 2026. Maybe, putting in some crazy returns, but that's yet to be seen. I don't want to forecast too far out at all. So we did that sell in May kind of idea. So maybe it won't be so much sell in May, but I do expect the summer to be quite choppy. Just on average it is. But if it isn't, this is really the area to watch, right? Are we going to get that swing failure pattern? It's more likely if we don't spend a lot of time consolidating here more. But if we don't, and we get a close, an hour close, a 4-hour close above here, or even a daily close, don't fade this. You get behind the all-time high break and you just kind of ride it. From that point on, you can use fibs or something like that to really gauge where you want to take profit. But probably 115, 120, those kind of obvious psychological levels. But yeah, so that's kind of how I'm seeing the chart currently. We definitely could still trade up, but I am leaning more towards we range a bit more into May, and then maybe we have a nice pullback in alts, then we can really kind of start buying alts, looking for that next leg higher. Alts are just starting to pick up steam, so don't feel like you really missed out on the trade just yet. I do also want to go over buying and lockout trends like we had today. When you get these kind of lockout trends, they will not give you a good pullback at all. You guys can see on the 5 minutes here. I mean, where do you get in, right? You're looking for kind of the singles retest, but what price will often do, like this is a perfect example. It'll kind of build these triangles and then we just break up, and then it builds a triangle and then it breaks up again. It really gives you nowhere to enter and you just kind of have to, grab your nutsack and get in, right? So here we had the singles. When we have a really strong trend day, people are probably going to be front running stuff like this. So you can kind of buy on the edge of this range that we just, build out, just kind of, hoping that in the next couple hours, you're going to get another leg up in the trend. And that's what we ended up getting. So that's kind of how you want to get in on these lockout trends. Price marks up, it's going to build a range. You try to buy the bottom of the range. Hopefully it's on the sub-single prints, the edge of the singles normally. But the singles are here, right? And you're buying up here. So you're definitely front running them. But just some tips there on buying in a trend like this, because it's not going to give you some, TA. Here you go. You can get into the trend and then let's give you a free 3,000 point move. So it just doesn't do that. That's kind of a fantasy. And yeah, I just wouldn't have too much FOMO. There's going to be a lot of opportunities in alts. So that's kind of where I'm going to be pointing my attention, screening alts, seeing where there's a lot of opportunity. I do want to go over the order book depth as well. So we see, look, we have a super large order on Coinbase. We have a 170 at 105 basically. And then also on Binance, we have a 300. So, up here it's no joke, right? We have a lot of spot that's looking to get sold, and normally they just leave those on the book looking to get filled. You would think they're spoofs, especially in an unregulated market like this, but they're not. Normally they are actually looking to get filled, so that's something to watch out for. On the open interest side, I mean, we haven't really heated up yet at all. Funding is kind of heating up though. If you guys look at aggregated funding, let's go to like the 4-hour chart here. But it's not nothing crazy, right? When we saw this top and this top, it can just keep going. So an open interest is not getting insanely heated either. It's more like people really got caught off guard, kind of shorting this range that we built out, and then they're just getting taken out back. People shorted here on the trend thinking, oh, we're going to reverse, and then it just reverses all their positioning. So, when you break out of a long range like this, you don't want to fade it. Let the open interest show you that. You do not want to fade it. You want to go with the trend. Just, something to point out. But other than that, I think that's all. I just, it's a quick video. I just want to go over where we are. Don't have too much FOMO. One thing I do think is worth watching is this traditional finance kind of thing. They are out. Let's see. IBIT, yeah. Look at the flows today from IBIT. Wow. 3.49 billion. So, I mean, that's good. People are buying. Oh, that's total? Okay, I don't think that. That's my bad. I didn't even scroll. I wasn't seeing this. Okay, maybe they haven't came out yet. I don't think they have. But we want to see this on the higher end, right? We want to see institutional demand. But the open interest isn't that high on CME either. So the futures open interest. One thing to note about this is when it does start marking up, you can use it like regular open interest. And you think about it, these positions usually have a lot more money behind them because you need a lot more margin to trade Bitcoin on the CME. So a little bit more serious traders, but just something to note. So that was just kind of my long time frame ideas on Bitcoin. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thanks, guys.